Hi, my name's Christiene Warner, and this is my oral presentation on Lydia Davis. For literary and personal discography, Lydia Davis's genre is considered a contemporary postmodern American literature writer from the late 20th century to our current present. Davis' literary period is marked by her exploration of the ethics of parenting and the relationship between language and action. Davis' literary period is set apart by her innovative approach to short stories. She began publishing in the late 1970s/early 1960s. Her work is often portrayed by specific observations of mundane and routine occurrences. For part 1 of biography, Lydia Davis, born 1947 in Northampton, Massachusetts. Davis was raised in a two-parent household, and they were both writers. Her father continued on to be a professor who had taught English at Smith College, and her mother had continued to write short stories. In the 1970s, she lived for a short time in France, where she collaborated on translations with her first husband, Paul Auster. When Lydia was 7, she learned her second language, being German. Davis has written 6 books of stories and a novel called The End of the Story. Part 2 of biography. In the beginning of Davis' writing career, she felt unhappy, declaring being a writer an unhappy fate. It took a few years of her writing to find happiness. Davis found interest in having a lot of an emotional context in her stories, but not approaching it directly. Letting it be in the story, but not concentrating nor focusing on it, focusing on something else. An example being her one story called Grammar Questions. It's called Grammar Questions versus being called The Death of My Father. She found more interest in focusing on the grammar rather than the emotional aspect of the piece itself. Davis writes fictional pieces that were inspired by her life, but not the factual full reality. An example being some of the pieces she wrote regarding bad mothering, not necessarily directing it at her mother, but applied certain situations she went through to the stories. Story/poem analysis. Davis' personal writing style is very precise, most of the time short. Davis uses plain language and focuses on small everyday moments. Her pieces vary from gentle humorous to more of a down tone. One last particular style which stood out is her showing how the mind thinks, the loop thoughts, the overthinking, and the emotional shifts. For accomplishments, starting in 1976, Davis published her first story collection called The 13th Woman and Other Stories. Davis received a wide variety of awards, fellowships. She even received the MacArthur Fellowship. She, in 2005, was elected a Fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. In 2007, her collection Varieties of Disturbances Stories was a finalist for the National Book Award for Fiction. In 2013, she won the Man Booker International Prize for her overall achievements in fiction. In 2013, she received the American Academy of Arts and Letters Award of Merit Medal. In 2019, Published Essays won her first collection of nonfiction work, and in 2020 received the PEN Malamud Award for Excellence in the Short Story. Finishing up in 2021, when she published Essays 2, a second collection of nonfiction. For my works cited, I had used an interview with Lydia Davis on the site Brick. I had also used the Poetry Foundation. I used our class textbook, The Norton Introduction to Literature, and I used biography books and facts on Encyclopedia Britannica. To cite one of Lydia Davis's pieces, I'm going to be reciting head and heart, or head, comma, heart. Heart weeps. Head tries to help heart. Head tells heart how it is again. You will lose the ones you love. They will all go. But the earth must go someday, too. This helps heart. But the words of head do not remain long in the ears of heart. Heart is so new to this. I want them back, heart says. Head is all heart has. Help head, help heart. And that is my oral presentation by Lydia Davis. Thank you.